In 1934, a German engineer received a contract from Adolf Hitler. In 1944, his factories used forced labor. In 1948, his son built a sports car in a barn. One family, one badge. Today, Porsche. Welcome back. Mac here. Today we open the Porsche glove box. One family, two generations, 3 scandals, 91 years, 19 Le Mans wins. 44 slides. Let's go. 1875. Maffersdorf, Northern Bohemia. Ferdinand Porsche is born in a tinsmith's house. 1897. Ferdinand is 22. He gets a job as an apprentice at an electrical firm in Vienna. 3 years later, he builds his first car, the Lohner-Porsche, electrically driven, 1900. The man who would define the internal combustion sports car starts with an electric motor. That detail is real. Austro-Daimler, 1906 to 1923, chief designer. Ferdinand builds racing cars, aero engines, and a reputation as the best automotive engineer in Central Europe. 1923, Ferdinand joins Daimler-Benz in Stuttgart. Technical director, designs the Mercedes S-Series supercharged racers, wins races across Europe, then has a fight with the board, resigns. That's a pattern. April 25th, 1931. Ferdinand Porsche founds his own engineering consultancy, Porsche GmbH, Stuttgart. He is 55 years old. The company has 11 employees. The first commission, a small racing car for an Auto-Union consortium. Then the phone rings again. 1934. The Auto-Union P-Wagen, Ferdinand Porsche's mid-engine racing design, built for the Nazi state's prestige motor racing program. It wins. The program also produces something else, a car that will outlast the war. More on that. 1934, a different phone call. This one is from the Reich Chancellery, 1934. Adolf Hitler gives Ferdinand Porsche a direct commission. Design a car every German family can afford. The KdF-Wagen, Kraft durch Freude, strength through joy. Target price, 900 Reichsmarks. Ferdinand accepts. The contract is worth several years of engineering fees for his firm. The prototypes, 1936. The V1 and V2, 1937. The V3. 30 Porsche employees work on the car. Testing is done at Hitler's personal request on the Autobahn under secrecy. The rear-engine air-cooled layout is Ferdinand's core design. It will survive 65 years of production. May 28, 1937. The Volkswagenwerk GmbH is founded. The factory is built from scratch at Fallersleben. Ferdinand Porsche is managing director. The Nazi German Labor Front finances it. The plant is enormous, designed for 360,000 workers. It never builds a civilian car before the war ends. While Ferdinand runs the firm, his son Ferry, born September 19, 1909, is learning every aspect of the business: engineering, finance, supplier relations. By the time war breaks out, Ferry Porsche is 30 years old and effectively co-running the consultancy. The war. Porsche GmbH takes wartime contracts. The VK4501, prototype for what becomes the Tiger tank competition. The Maus super heavy tank, never deployed. The Elephant tank destroyer, 91 built. Ferdinand Porsche is the Reich's premier automotive engineer. The contracts keep the consultancy funded. Here's where it gets interesting. Now we get to the part nobody at the press junket likes. Here's the 1943 footprint: Stuttgart, Zuffenhausen, Gmünd, an engineering empire built on wartime contracts. 1931, 11 employees. 1943, several hundred across Stuttgart and related facilities. Contracts span armored vehicles, aero engine development, and the ongoing VW program, which never fully paused even during the war. Zuffenhausen, the plant that Ferdinand chose when he returned from Gmünd in 1950. Still the address of Porsche today, still where the 911 is assembled. 1948. Ferry Porsche negotiates a royalty agreement with Volkswagen. 1 Deutschmark per Beetle sold. The Beetle sells 21 million units over the following decades. That royalty arrangement funds the early Porsche car program. The relationship between Porsche and VW runs through everything that follows, including a crisis in 2009. November 1944, Ferdinand Porsche is in France on VW business. He does not leave France voluntarily. Pause. Which badge next? Drop one. We pick from comments. Now we get to the part nobody at the press junket likes. What Ferdinand Porsche did between 1933 and 1945 is in the historical record. The Volkswagenwerk that Ferdinand Porsche designed and built. From 1940, that factory used forced labor, prisoners of war and civilian deportees from occupied territories. The factory Ferdinand oversaw as managing director. That is not a contested fact. Ferdinand Porsche is managing director of Volkswagenwerk from 1937 to 1945. He has a corporate role in the facility. He is aware of the labor program. Ludwigson's 3-volume history addresses this directly. November 1945. French authorities arrest Ferdinand Porsche in Baden-Baden. He is held in French custody. The charges relate to his role at Volkswagenwerk and to the Tiger Tank development program. He is 69 years old. He is not tried at Nuremberg. He is held without formal trial. 22 months. Ferdinand Porsche is held in French custody, Dijon, then Neuilly, from November 1945 to August 1947. He is released after his son Ferry pays a bail equivalent sum of 1 million francs. He is never formally convicted. He is never formally acquitted. While Ferdinand is in French custody, Ferry Porsche runs the firm from Gmünd, Austria. He has no Stuttgart plant. It was bombed. He has a small workshop, a handful of engineers, and a need to generate income to free his father. The plan: build a sports car and sell it. Ferdinand came home in 1947. He lived 4 more years. He saw the car Ferry built. 1948, Gmünd, Austria, 56 aluminum panels, 1 sports car. June 8, 1948. The Porsche 356-1 Roadster is approved by Austrian traffic authorities. Mid-engine, aluminum bodywork, Volkswagen mechanicals. Ferry builds 52 of them by hand in Gmünd. Each body panel is beaten by hand. The car weighs 585 kilograms. It costs more than a house. 1950. Production moves to Stuttgart-Zuffenhausen. The 356 transitions from aluminum to steel. Production accelerates. Between 1950 and 1965, Porsche builds over 76,356. Ferdinand Porsche dies on January 30th, 1951. 2 years after the car goes on sale. He does not live to see what the company becomes. September 1963, Frankfurt Motor Show. Porsche unveils the Type 901, designed by Butzi Porsche, Ferdinand's grandson. Peugeot objects. They hold French naming rights to all 3-digit numbers with a 0 in the middle. Porsche replaces the 0 with a 1. The 911. 60 years later, over 1 million 911s built. The rear engine layout that every engineer said was wrong in 1963 is still there today. Ferry kept it. His engineers kept it. The air-cooled era runs until 1997. The switch to water cooling provokes a crisis among purists. 1970. Le Mans. The Porsche 917 wins overall for the first time. Hans Hermann and Richard Atwood. The car that Steve McQueen drove the year before in the film that made Le Mans synonymous with Porsche. Porsche will win that race 19 more times. 1992. Things got close. 1992. Porsche AG posts a loss of 240 million Deutschmarks. Production is down to 14,000 cars a year. From a peak of 54,000 in 1985, the dollar's weak. The American market, which buys more than half of all Porsches, collapses under currency pressure. The company is 2 years from closure. Wendelin Wiedeking becomes CEO in 1992. He brings in Toyota production system consultants, literally Japanese engineers on the factory floor. Inventory costs cut by 50%, defects cut by 90%. It is the most documented turnaround in German automotive history. Porsche becomes profitable within 4 years. 2002, the Cayenne, an SUV, with a Porsche badge. Every Porsche purist in the world has an opinion. Most of the opinions are wrong about what happens next. The Cayenne sells 3 times more units than any sports car in the range within 5 years. Within 7 years, the Cayenne generates over 40% of Porsche's total revenue. The Boxster keeps the heart. The Cayenne keeps the lights on. File that one under. Things they'd rather you forget if it hadn't worked. 1997. The Type 996. First water-cooled 911. The community is unhappy. The car sells 84,000 units over 7 years. The community eventually gets over it. They didn't stay down. Then they tried something else. 2005. Porsche SE, the holding company, begins buying Volkswagen AG shares. The plan, Porsche, which had fewer than 14,000 employees, would acquire Volkswagen, which had over 300,000. It is one of the most audacious corporate plays in German industrial history. October 28, 2008. Porsche discloses it holds 74% of VW's shares through options. Short sellers who had bet against VW are caught. VW stock hits 1,005 euros per share for one day, briefly making Volkswagen the highest market capitalization company on earth. Hedge funds lose billions. The financial crisis arrives. The debt Porsche SE accumulated to buy VW shares becomes unserviceable. July 23, 2009. Wendelin Wiedeking is forced out with a 50 million euro severance. The man who saved Porsche from bankruptcy loses the biggest bet in corporate car history. Their press release called it a mutual agreement. The context says otherwise. The reversal, 2012. Volkswagen Group formally acquires Porsche AG. The company Ferdinand Porsche, founded as an 11-person engineering consultancy, is now a subsidiary of the company he designed the first car for. The Beetle. The circle is that closed. September 29, 2022. Porsche AG lists on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. 75 euros per share. Market capitalization on day one, 75 billion euros. The largest European IPO since Glencore in 2011. VW Group retains 75%. The Porsche and Piëch families control Porsche SE, which controls VW, which owns Porsche AG. It is structurally complicated. Here's what they're betting the company on now: electric. And Le Mans, again. 2019, the Taycan, Porsche's first all-electric production car, 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds. Launch version, 325,000 euros for the Turbo S, named after a Turkic word meaning soul of a young, lively horse. That information is in their own press release. The 911 hybrid, 3 consecutive Le Mans overall wins, 2015, 2016, 2017. Total Porsche Le Mans wins, 19. More than any other manufacturer. 2023. Porsche returns to the Le Mans top class with the 963 LMDh, alongside Ferrari, alongside Toyota, alongside Cadillac, the hypercar era. Porsche finishes 5th and 6th overall in the first attempt. They are not there yet. 2023. Porsche AG delivers 320,221 vehicles. Revenue, 40.5 billion euros. The 911 accounts for 14% of deliveries. The Cayenne and Macan SUVs account for 53%. Ferry's sports car lives. Ferdinand's people's car Logic lives on a different nameplate. Top 5 numbers from today. 1948, the year Ferry built the first Porsche in a barn while his father was in French custody. 22 months. How long Ferdinand was held without conviction. 19, Le Mans wins. 75 billion euros. Day 1 market cap at IPO. One family, the Porsche Piëchs, who still control the company. If you got this far, you're already 1% deeper into car history than 99% of drivers. Hit subscribe. Mac out.